Show. That is a time.
Slime up, y'all.
Fish on.
Brought to you by Carolina Lake Weights. Come drift with us.
Well, catfish ain't expensive, boy. It's free to town. Some folks crazy about it, others have to leave it be. You walk down to the bank so you can flash your weight. You looking for
Fish on. Yeehaw, baby.
you ain't got long to wait.
What's up, slime lovers? I'm Chris, aka El Gato Azul. It's my co-host down here, Jamie Dunn. He's coming off the sick bed. And over here we got the world famous Tub and Tackle. So thanks for joining us, Tub. So people that don't know Tub, he's one of our Carolina Lake Weights pro staff. He's also Jamie and mine's teammate over at Mad Cats.
Yes, sir.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Probably one of the most well-respected guys I've come across in the industry. Super friendly. Pleasure to have you on the show tonight, buddy.
Yes, sir, Chris. Glad to be here, buddy. Glad to be here.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, Jamie, you too. We're Rebecca. Tell Rebecca hey too there.
Jamie's got Rebecca in the dungeon, keeping her working.
Somebody's got to keep it going, brother, because I slack.
So I've known Tub probably a little over a year. I first met him through Mad Cats, and now we brought him on the Carolina Lake Weights team. He's become good friends with us. I know Jamie's known him for a while. Tell us a little bit about what you do for a living, Tub, and kind of how you got going on catfishing and how you got linked up with Mad Cats and Carolina Lake Weights.
Wow, that's a lot of it there. I tell you, I started out, been fishing my whole life, just playing out as a kid down on High Rock in Tuckertown. When I was 16 years old, got into a canoe and some bass fishing, and starting out the poor boy way. And finally led up to where I was able to get me a nice old CR, about a 2019 MV model. Got it, and decided I wanted to convert it into something and start getting in the pro staff and just learning a lot more about this and just trying to take it to a different level. Well, built the boat. After I built the boat, a lot of people like what I do. I build houses. I'm a contractor. I build houses for a living. I put out 15 to 20 homes, new homes a year, and I run a crane service. Instead of buying the crane all these years, because I've been building houses for a long time. We had a nice boat there. We worked hard on that boat. That was
that thing's beautiful, Tub.
Hey, that was a 4-month project right there. That was 4
I bet.
That was 4 months and working pretty hard on it. But quality work, man. So I'm glad to stand behind that.
Yeah,
Right,
you nailed it on that thing. I love the color. That thing's got a lot of room. The way you set it all up, exactly how I would have done it. So
I tell you, that boat's top notch right there, man. There's no corners cut whatsoever on that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do. There's a couple things I would do different if I done it again, probably. But I got ideas coming up. For a bigger boat. So also, I'm doing one. Kind of got one in that works right now. When it comes out, you're really going to be surprised when you see this one. So
man,
it's in the secretive hideout zone. But I'm doing a nice Predator right now. And it's taking a little longer. Got a lot going on between the business and stuff that I'm running. And I got into CNC business, cutting signs out. I really didn't want to get into cutting signs out. I got into, hey, you call me up, you want to make 20 or 30 items, or if you need 5,000 items, I cut it out. Well, everybody, that's nice there. I appreciate that there, buddy. Hey, but I started
70-pound club. Tub cut that out. It's pretty cool. It's a wall piece of wall art, just to memorialize Jackson's 70.
I tell you,
Might
man,
get you to make one for his 80.
Yeah, we can get that right to you.
I've seen some of Tubbs' work, man. That stuff is, I'm telling you, it's the best of the best. That man can really put it out there.
I like the boat. I like the boat name that you put across the back. So when you're taking those pictures and stuff, that Tub and Tackle, that looks cool.
Yeah, I got a couple guys out there that's got them. I got them in here in the shop now, and they waiting to get them. So anybody out there needs anything like that, you know where to come. I ship them right to you.
We definitely gonna get you to do some for us, brother.
Glow in the dark, glow in the dark.
Before we get going any further, we'll say what's up to the people in here. We've got Rich in here from Operation Vets with Nets. We've been partnering up with them. Just going to try to help promote what they're doing with the vets, taking them out fishing. We got Carolina Reel Screamers in the house. I only see one of them, but straight getting fishing. Welcome in, buddy. Donovan's Fishing and Hunting. Fishing on Faith. That's my one of my little fishing buddies that comes on the boat sometimes. Adam Jr. We got Facebook users. Can't see who y'all are. If you'll log into El Gato Azul TV on YouTube or Carolina Reel Screamers on YouTube, we can see who you are. We got Whisker Dreams. Welcome in, buddy. We got Ken Ferguson. He's another one of our pro staffers.
Yes, sir.
Carolina Lake Weights. Welcome in, teammate. Another Facebook user. That's Lance McCoo guy. What's up, Lance? Yep. Welcome in, buddy. We got River Rats 3030. Hey, appreciate the gift card. Jackson won on the tournament, River Rat. Appreciate that, buddy. We'll get him hooked up. I believe it was the Cabela's gift card. So thanks for providing that for him. Derek Vincent, another one of our teammates at Carolina Lake Weights. What's up, buddy? Welcome in. We got Paula Curtis Smith. What's up, Paula?
Paula, what's up?
Welcome in. We got Infamous Catfishing. That's another one of our Mad Cats teammates. Who else? We got Ben and Tips Catfishing. That's another Carolina Lake Weights teammate. So we got 20 people in here right now, not including Facebookers. So appreciate everybody stopping in and spending a little time with us tonight. I know there's a couple other shows that are on tonight, so thanks for spending a little time with us.
We got a big family, man. The family's growing.
Yes, sir, it is.
Love it, man. A lot of great people out there in the family.
We got a great group of guys and gals on that team now. So it took us a while to get it assembled kind of how we wanted it. But, man, it's rocking and rolling now.
It's all family there.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Much love, much love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tonight we got Tub on. He's also our teammate, Carolina Lake Weights. He's our teammate at Mad Cats. He's been telling us a little bit about just what he does for a living and a little bit about his boat. He does CNC work. He made this one for Jackson. You can hit him up. He's on Facebook under Tub and Tackle. If you want custom stuff done for CNC, if you got a wall plaque that you want done, or like, I don't know, tournaments, tournament stuff. If you want the name of your boat, he can do all that. What's the coating on this, Tub?
That's powder coat. Any color, 6,000 colors to choose from.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of colors.
Yeah.
The brighter, the better.
How'd you get into the CNC stuff?
I'll tell you, probably just when I got into fishing community and met the whole family from all across the world. It seemed like just me going to these expos and just meeting everybody. And it just went from having 800 friends on Facebook to 5,000 friends in about 3 days. and they call out. It became family. It became family. It really did. And with the amount of people, and then taking on some pro staffs and enjoying that, I wanted to try to take it to a next level. I've always heard it was called promotional staff, and yes, sir. I'm running a little bit behind the slow. I got a lot going on, a lot of family wise. So I've done the family thing first and slowed my roll down a little bit, but I'm going to crank it off good. It's we can pretty much make anything you want in quantity, production line. It's there. I just that's what got me into it, was the fishing community. Fishing got me sponsorships, got me into CNC.
Well, I tell you, I'm going one day. I'm gonna bring that boat of ours up there. I'm definitely needing you to do some work.
I love to.
After seeing your boat, man, I've got to get my boat up there.
Better bring some cash.
We got to put some life in that boat of ours.
I got a 2022 Predator in here, CR Predator, and it's illusion green. It's pretty hot looking. It looks like my boat, but you can about imagine. So it'll be a good little photo coming out pretty soon.
I tell you, I fished some tournaments, a couple tournaments up there, and I've seen your boat at night, man, and you can't miss it. It's bright. That it is bright, man. I love it.
Right. No, I tell you, I enjoy it. I do.
It stands out from everybody else. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I'm not going to have no secret holes or nothing. There's no secret holes. There's nothing. Everybody knows where I'm at. So, hey, I just get to find the fish that's left over.
If you see Tub out there, don't get too far away from him. He knows where they're at. Oh, man. So, Tub, how busy you been, man? What all you been? What's been going on lately?
I tell you, it's been busy. Ended up deciding I wanted to do more in life size, work all the time. So I downsized my place, downsized my companies. We was framing anywhere from 30 homes a year for 28 years straight, and I downsized that in half down to 15 or so. And I did pick up the CNC on this part though. And my crane business, I cut it almost all the way down, just picking and choosing what I want to do with it. It's almost on its way out the door too. A lot of people's like, man, you don't want to sell that crane. It's a big upkeep. I don't need it no more. I done graduated from it, and I'm in the process now. I sold my house, and divided my property, downsized and everything. So I'm building a house right now. So. Yeah, building a new homestead onto my shop. It's like a big studio home added on, and a barn, board and bat, and barn dominium. Yeah, real nice.
Those are cool. I wish I could talk my wife into getting one.
It's going to look good. It's been a lot of transformation to get there, and it's been a little slow, but we're in the process right now, waiting on trusses, to get here. But other than that, if we get them trusses, we'll have it built in no time. But that's the life of the construction world. And
I see when you fish, you're pretty much just tournament fishing now. So how often do you enter the tournaments these days? And
I'm trying.
Do you have a schedule you're going to try to keep with a certain amount you're going to hit this year? Or?
Yeah, the way I'm rolling right now with my the wife sick as she is, and the stuff we have going on, it's about best, I just stick with the fishing tournaments, and when I get to do that. But we've been lucky. I got to go out to Okanichi and Kerr Lake, Santee this year. Got to the Hoyak and Chain. I fished the Hoyak and Master Catter Series. Got to be a part of a lot of that. And a lot of times when I couldn't get there, I would go jump on a boat with Anthony Brown or somebody out there. I'd just go jump on a boat. I can get on the boat with anyone, and that's the good part about this fishing community, just looking after you.
Looks like you usually do pretty good no matter where you're fishing. So,
well, I got
a lot of these fisheries. Do you fish them? Have you fished them before? You're familiar with them, or you've got the contacts now, so you get good intel?
I just got out there, I would say a day ahead of time on a lot of these new ones, and just looked at Navionics for hours in the bed the night before. You can't sleep. But just,
I do.
I stepped out last year at the Yak and Master Catter Series and thought I wanted to start pulling board. I pulled boards when I was a teenager, so for we done it sitting there in high current off Tuckertown striper fishing. We just run our boards out, but planting boards for catfish is, I'm new at it, 2.5, 3 years in, just pulling some boards, and more of an anchor fisherman. So, when I started doing that, I declined a little bit in catching fish. And I miss them flatheads. I love them flatheads. And but yeah, you put me in a river only 10 foot or shallower. You gonna be, I'll put you to your test right there on some flatheads. But I like the flatheads, and it all depends. It all depends how the current is, how the water is, temperature, all that good stuff. Well, if I'm going to pull boards or if I'm going to anchor fish, but probably 80% of the time I'm anchor fishing, trying to catch a big old flathead. If I'm going to the James River or Occoneechee or somewhere, I think I'm going for the big blues. You know what I'm saying? But my yak and chain where I'm at down here, I'm going to just hammer. I'm going to hammer and stay on the flatheads. Try my best to.
I see you, when you fish these tournaments, you got a lot of different fishing partners. So
yeah,
how do you decide who you're going to fish with when you go hit these big tournaments?
I tell you, it's been nice and it's been overwhelming sometimes. Just you have 20 people say, "Hey man, can I go?" And you don't want to tell all 20, and nobody's special. Just old country boy, just learn from you guys, learn from everyone. I learn every day, but to be able to go out there and put this stuff to a performance and stand by it and prove that it's the real stuff, that we use. Hey, I love this game, and it's the real deal.
I saw where there's a question. What's your PB flathead?
58.
58.
58 on flathead, and me and Clark Morton caught a 52 on a flathead, and I got a 46.
Nice, man. I saw some pictures of y'all guys down in Santee from the tournament when y'all went down there this past year. Looked like y'all were having a lot of fun. You, Matt, and I believe Dave, and
yeah. Right. I tell you, it's always a good time with them boys, man. That's brotherhood right there. That's brotherhood.
How did y'all guys do down there? I mean, it looked like everybody was done decent down there. Some tough fish.
Well, I think we had more of our own tournament than anything. When we first hit the water, it was like, hey, how much we gonna bet on this? You know what I'm saying? But we had a good time. So when we went to go weigh in and show fish, we pretty much took pictures of our fish, and we dumped some of them. And yeah, we just had our own little tournament. We had a great time. We had a good time.
It looked like y'all guys were just having a blast. I hated we had to miss it, but we're gonna try to get back on track this year and fish some more of the big ones this year.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, between Dave Duggar and Wawa and Matt Knight, you drive all the way to Kentucky from Rockingham and back with them. That's a trip.
Matter of fact, we were able to done a video.
That's right.
When y'all had the flat tire on the way up to the conference.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I said, man, I would love to be in that truck with them guys. I bet they are having a blast.
Yeah, we had a great time. We did, and it turned out good. I'll tell you what, we worked our butts off up there. Had a great time.
Everywhere you looked, I saw rods, man, just going flying.
Yeah.
I think you had talked with you a couple times. It looked like you were ready to sit down on the bench and take a break at halftime.
I tell you what, I thought I was going to get a rotor cup surgery and carpal tunnel. That's how many rods we pulled from the boxes.
Wow, I know y'all guys y'all just tore it up there, man, at the conference.
Yeah.
But watching y'all, man, I mean, it's like one big family. Everybody is having a good time. I mean, it's excellent. That's what it's all about.
Right. Exactly.
How did you get promoted to the driving position for that trip?
Matt just hit me up and he said, You're driving, Tub. I said, okay, we're going, you know.
I heard you kind of go fast with that big ass trailer.
Yeah, they gave me a hard time. They gave me a hard time. They
Did you have a blowout?
Yeah, we did. They blamed that on me too.
When we did the video chat, I saw Matt in the back. He's like, yeah, we got something's wrong back here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tell you what, the Kentucky was a blast.
Are you going to the one in Tennessee in August?
Yes, I'm going to be jumping on.
Well, matter of fact, we've got the booth right behind y'all up there. So Carolina Lake
Good deal.
all those is going to be right there together.
Great. That's good.
So we can't wait to get up there. I know we got a house up there, so we ready to go.
Right.
So when is that one? August?
I'm wanting to say, Rebecca, I know you in chat, correct me, 11th, 12th, somewhere up in that range. I believe that's somewhere.
That's a Friday and Saturday deal or a Saturday, Sunday deal?
I believe it's a Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I may try to hit that with the tornado. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for all that. At least at CatCon they had an inflatable that kept him entertained. I don't know what I would have done without that thing.
So, I know we're talking about your boat earlier and stuff. I know you love the bright lights, man. I can see behind you your setup. You know, I just got a little one back here, and I love how your backdrop and your stuff is, man. What draws you to that? I mean, what started you into, getting into that?
Well, I guess all them riverbanks growing up and the Coleman Lantern and just all the little glow things on the rod, the little things you buy, the night brights or whatever, all the millions that they made. But just seeing your line and just seeing the setup and just kick back. And if I'm going to do it, I told myself I'm going to do it. I'm getting old and about blind anyway, so it really works out good for me.
Ask me.
Yeah, but no.
So, what UV lights do you use to light all that up?
I'm using the night brights. I found out they work the best. I've used a bunch of them. The night brights, they're not the cheapest, but they the best because that's what I got on my boat. But I do run 2 16-footers, and I run 4 8-footers in a canopy.
Top. Where do you position those? You got them in the canopy top.
Yeah, 4 bows.
Those
4
just
bow.
point at the rods, right?
Yeah,
because you don't want to look at UV light. It blinds you. Bad on your eyes.
All of them's on the face side of the 4 bow, and drill a hole and come down and access your power that way on switches. But I got it hooked up where it comes off and all that good stuff. But I got 2 back on my multi bars like everybody else, a little 2-footers, and then I got them.
What do those light it up really good, or like if you didn't have those, would they still light up pretty good? Because all mine are overhead on the T-top, pointing down at my rods. But I need 2 more. I'm gonna redo mine. So
a lot of people says mine's bright. How you see mine is pretty much what's coming out of the canopy top. Mainly that very back one, the first one, that's one that's doing all the bright work.
Okay.
But
I've seen a new brand out, Black Oak LED, and I know one of our teammates is running them. They are $high lights. They're high. I assume they must be high quality if they cost that much. I'm interested because I don't want to have to keep redoing them. It's
right.
The installation part is the hard part.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and see, I just redone all the lights on the boat, our boat, and I put some underwater lights on there, and I love those underwater lights. They're nice. And then I put some on the T-bar, facing outwards also. So, we just got the top put back on ours. So I'm actually going to do how you've got yours, have another set to shine down.
Right. That's gonna be nice.
So I need the two that shine down, but then I also, when I'm anchoring, I put rods off the sides, and those don't get lit up very good with those two on the back. So I got to get two more kind of facing out towards the sides, towards the back.
Right.
Yeah, Cubs kind of comes from the back, almost the same river fishing and stuff. You at night you go through past these guys. I mean, they've got it lit up all the way around. I mean, you can't miss them. You cannot miss them. I promise you.
So when you're not running the UVs, so you have white lights that you light if you want to like see really good. You have white lights. You flip those on.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's you need to tie something or fix something.
Well, I got it hooked into a tripod. It sits on top of my gunner rail where I CNC me a special bracket, and I screw a DeWalt 24-volt light on. So it runs off of a 6AR battery, and it'll run a 12 night on high if you need to. So if I'm tangled up mess and I got 3 planer boards all tangled up, I just hit that light. It really, you know what I'm saying? It just helps you out. If you got a mess, you got a mess. Old catfish hangs a left,
Right through all the rods.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So I tell you what, sometimes that headlamp it ain't enough. But I can brighten the whole boat up, to it just, yep.
I know definitely. I'm gonna get up there and fish with you in the tournament one night. So save me a seat one night. I won't definitely do it.
You better get a hold.
I know
you better get that lined up well in advance.
Yeah, Chris was asking me earlier. Well, you always got somebody different fishing with you, but I tell you what, I wait till the last minute, I guess, and it's about one day before we go, and I call somebody and I say, "Hey, you want to go fishing?" So it's no special. Hey, I get to fish with some good people. I get to fish with a lot of guys that fish, but it's no special. I ain't got no partner. My best partner, I love everybody's been a partner to me, but my daughter, she was a good partner, and she's growing old on me. She's not daddy's little girl no more. But I miss fishing. I miss fishing with I miss fishing with the daughter.
Yeah, I bet. That's some of the funnest stuff, fishing with the kids.
Yeah, congratulations. I know it's wasn't too long ago, wedding and stuff, man. See you all dressed up, you and the wife. That was a beautiful wedding, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Me and Rebecca, we watched the video and we loved it, man. Congratulations, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. thank you.
So Tub, Facebook user said, "What's the best line to use?" Since we were talking about lighting stuff up at night, he says he's running 80-pound braid now. Pros and cons, braided versus others.
I use 30-pound mono filament line, and the from Mad Cat's line. I use it.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, and I use the hog snatchers, and I use 30-pound mono and run 80-pound leader.
That's what I do.
I run 80-pound leader, and
I've tried the braid. It's preference. I see the point of using it, but I drag a lot, and I think you break. If you're hung up and you're dragging with 80-pound braid, it's a nightmare. But it also doesn't glow like mono.
You're right. It fades out quicker too.
Yeah.
But I've used braid. I can't knock it. I've used it for years. But I like it just because I like using mono filament. It's easier to get the knots out and the tangles out, and it's just easier to deal with for me. So that's my preference.
Yeah, I think it's a personal preference, but I will say that Mad Cat's 30-pound mono is a step up from any other mono I've used. Guys, like, what's the difference? I'm like, well, it's got very low memory. It's super thin for 30. But it's stronger than most 30. So it's thinner but stronger. The only problem is sometimes when you're hung up, you have a damn hard time breaking the stuff off, even the 30.
You're right.
All my other 30s I could always break. This stuff sometimes it really takes a lot to be able to break if you're up, really hung back.
We were talking
It's
about
hard.
bait for a second the other night when we were doing a live. We were down the Santee River, and we hooked into that 58 pounder. And afterwards, most of the time you checking your line and for breaks or something. There wasn't a scratch on it, man. I mean, not a scratch on that 30 pound.
I've noticed also it lasts longer than the other monos that I would use. The other stuff would haze out really quickly in the Texas sun, and that's when I would know it's time. But this stuff, it seems like it's lasting. It's fresher longer.
Yeah.
I think they put some type of UV. I don't know the technology. It's pretty higher technology mono that I've been using, but
I can tell you, it definitely lights up at night. I love it.
Yeah.
UV lights. It definitely. I mean, you got what 14, 15 rods out there when you anchor fishing. I mean, you could just put it side by side with no problem.
You can tell that line's running in or pulling out,
or going across.
Yeah, going across.
But yeah, that's some real good line. I highly recommend it.
Donovan says he uses Mad Cat 60 braid for cats and 80 for gar. Has never lost a fish due to line failure. Well, I can tell you, if I were losing fish due to line failure, I'd be finding me a new fishing line. You shouldn't be breaking off on fish unless you got some old ass line on, that's banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I'm pretty picky about ours. I'm constantly just checking it.
Yeah.
With all the fishing, basically every weekend, tournament fishing, it's like a normal thing every week. Check your line. And with, we were talking about the Mad Cat's line. I mean, I haven't had to replace our line half as much. I mean, it's.
I'll run my hand up about 6 feet on it, and just feel if there's a nick. And I'll do that maybe, probably every time I catch a good fish in the winter, I'll check it. So, if we catch, 10 fish in the 20 to 50 pound range, I'm checking that thing 10 times a day to make sure it's not nicked.
Right.
Because if you've ever lost a fish, it's painful, and it can usually be avoided. There's usually a reason. Now, sometimes if you're sending your stuff long, your hook will spin, and there's a chance it could nick your line and you lose one that way. But usually it's that big fish rolling around on the bottom, trying to do stuff to break that line off. I think if you'll check your line after every decent fish, you can save a lot of heartbreak from losing that good one, because you'll lose the very best one. They just have different power, different tricks.
That's it. Tell me, how often do you go through all your rods, your reels? I mean, how often? What's your basics get ready for a tournament?
I go through mine quite a bit. I do. I'll tell you. I've been here for 2 days doing it. But about every 2 tournaments, I'm changing my line. I am. And, I just like knowing that I got new line and everything. And I put it to the test, man. I throw my stuff in a lot of shallow stuff. I throw it across the log just to get it to a daggone open hole, But, I like to change it out. I do. I pretty much like new hooks like every 2 times I go fishing. I used to try to sharpen them this and that and save money for this. No, just, if it don't poke you, it's not sharp.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I've lost a lot of fish too. I've lost a lot of fish just because it didn't poke.
Yeah.
It didn't poke.
I'll go to, everybody knows the arm test. You sit there and you slide it up. If it doesn't feel right or, just doesn't pull right, I'm changing it all out.
Right. Exactly.
You know, we go through so much of it. We've got a line machine actually here at the house, you know, re-spooling and all that.
Yeah.
So that's how regular we definitely check our lines.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you, when me and old Dave Duggar, when we was at Santee this last go around, we went through 7 packs of rattles. And, you know, it was 20-mile-an-hour winds out there, and you know what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
But we went through 7 packs of rattles and probably, I bet, 12 the floaters. Yeah, the little 2-inch floaters. We worked. We worked. We worked. And constantly just, it wasn't nothing to tie up 25 liters the day we was in that tournament out there. Yeah, it wasn't nothing to do that.
You know, especially Santee and especially Tillery, man. I remember my first tournament up there, myself and Jeremy Tournament Cats, we went up there and we actually talked with you there. And, you know, we drug and learned that place and anchored fish. There's a lot of structure in Tillery.
It is.
It's wild. I mean, you can do it all there.
What kind of structure?
The tree stump fields, bridge. Yeah, a lot. It's a lot of structure. It's a structural lake.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot more guys around my area that I fish with that knows a whole lot more than me about it. You know, but it's one of my favorite lakes around
Got
here.
a lot of stumps.
It's my favorite lake.
Stumps and you said bridges, submerged bridges, or what?
Yeah, some bridges. I guess about a quarter-mile long where they blowed them down.
Yeah.
Back in the 40s, 50s, whenever. I don't know the
reason I ask is because I call trees and stumps cover.
Yeah.
I call ledges, edges, channels. I call that structure.
Yeah.
I would probably call it an exploded bridge.
Yeah.
Structure. But
okay.
And that place, Chris, you got the bottom, then you got a layer that's over the top of the bottom in some of that areas. That's all it is. The structure all the way across like I
tell you what, since this last tournament we just had there, me and Jonathan Keats, he's on with us now.
Yeah.
He was my fishing partner, and since we got around the bridge, I ain't telling no secrets or nothing, nobody. But since we got around the bridge, we throwed on all them. We started dragging. We pulling boards. We pulled 4 boards out the left, 4 boards out the right. Had 4 down rods. We drug all the way from about a quarter-mile past that bridge all the way to the dam. Yeah, to the dam. And you know, we only got hung up twice all night long.
I tell you, for that place, that's good, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's so much stuff there.
It is.
You catch some monster flatheads. I mean, you know, that night we were lucky enough to catch some, 2 nice big blues. And, we caught some smaller flatheads. Couldn't ever find the big ones, but we switched it up, and everybody's like, "Man, you can't drag some of these areas." I'm like, "Watch us, we gonna drag it."
Yeah,
I think we've proven that not to be the case with Carolina Lake Whites.
So we definitely love that place, man. That's a nice place to fish.
Yeah, I like it out there too. It's my favorite on the Yak and Chain.
And I know y'all fished what was it, the Ice Bowl this year?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm not wrong. Didn't you hook into something pretty good in that tournament?
Yeah, it was a nice fish. It's most definitely the biggest fish I ever caught and never did catch it.
I saw a picture. I mean, you were just back, and I'm like,
I stayed on that fish for an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh man, that's crazy.
It was an hour and 15 minutes before we finally just he's done. But yeah, we went out there. Terry Wagner was my partner, and we went out there and we found that fish about 12 o'clock noon. I marked it and got off of it because tournament was the next morning. And me and Terry talked about, we need to get out here in this spot. We need to get out here about 3:15 in the morning because everybody else is going to be trying to get there about 3:30. So we're trying to beat them. Anyway, we got there at 3:15, and it wasn't 10 minutes later. I seen a boat with the lights coming over there towards us, and it banked away and got off. But anyway, after that day went by, I was talking to Bill Flathead Sutton when I hung that fish. I was sitting there talking to him, and 2 minutes in our conversation, I dropped the phone and I said, Bill, I got a big one. He said, do I need to come over there to you? And I said, yes. He was breaking down. He was going to come to me now. This is during the tournament. Because I told him, I said, Bill's the biggest fish I ever got. And, he unspooled me 3 times. I'm off of Abu 7000, wide spool. Finally, he hung her right. And started going. I seen my rod tip started going down too. And when he went down to the bottom, I felt him. My rod was bending down. I was fighting him good, and all of a sudden, I could tell he got hung up. And when he got hung up, all we could do is play with him a little bit. We stayed on him. I circled the boat. As an hour and 15 minutes went by, I talked to Wawa and Matt Knight during the conversation when I had that fish on. And, I took my boat and went 360 degrees around it with the trolling motor trying to undo it. I even dropped my live scope down on it, and I could see the debris down there, and I could barely get a glimpse of the fish, though. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, live scopes just showed me my big fish hung up. I could tell it was down there, but it wasn't no good photo for me or nothing.
How deep was it?
It was 28 feet.
Oh, man.
It was 28 feet.
How many times did you think about going in?
That's what I was getting at.
Well, the funny thing.
Got deep.
The funny thing is, and old guy probably watching this, but I got out there at Okanichi and we got to weigh in, and a guy come up to me and he says, Tub, and I said, yes, sir. He says, I'm such and such. I live here in Virginia. He said he sells Mad Cat rods and all that, and he was introducing himself to me. But anyway, he said, I just wanted you to know you didn't lie about that big fish. I said, what are you talking about? He said, we were sitting beside you. I watched you fight that fish the whole time. He said, on top of that, he said, me and my partner right here come by there yesterday, and we said, oh, no, Tub's there. And he said he must have spotted it. And he said he told his partner, he says, I got to beat Tub there in the morning, so they're going to be there at 3:30. But we got there at 3:15, and that was that boat lice I told you was coming in. But he said he marked that fish at 7 o'clock in the evening that night, and it was there. So anyway, I was there 3 days on that tournament there. Before you asked earlier about pre-fishing and stuff, I was there 3 days. First time going, not going to lie to you, love that place. Been there 4 times now since then. It's going to keep growing. But I love that place, and had a great time out there. But I fished the lower end, and I couldn't get on. What I thought might have been a lot of catfish. I had a guy come up to me and says, Don, those are probably stripers. He said, those are probably stripers. So I went to the other end of the lake, and I found that fish at 12 o'clock. And after 3 days of fishing there, tournaments tomorrow, in 1 hour, I found that fish and said, that's where I'm fishing.
Hey, Tub. Big fish follow those striper around like puppy dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I use them for fish finder. When I find them, I know I'm about to catch some big ass fish.
Man, that's awesome. I'm coming to Texas.
Come on with it, buddy.
Coming to Texas.
Got this yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my boy right there.
My son.
I love watching him fish, man. I love it.
I know. That boy, he's already a legend.
He's speaking of him. He won his little tournament weekend before last, and let me see if I got a picture of it real quick. His first fish was a 36. That put him in the lead. That was our first fish of the day. And then our last or second to last fish, Jackson's coming off tonsil surgery, so this was his last fish. He was too big for Jackson to hold up, and Jackson wasn't feeling well, but he got a 43 at the end of the day. So
nice fish.
He ended up winning that tournament. How do I get it off of here now? There it goes.
that boy's caught some fish that a lot of grown people, a lot of
would
love to catch.
When I was 10 years old, my PB was 14 pound flathead. 10 years old, 14 pounds.
That's a monster for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
A lot of Jackson's buddies will come on the boat. They have a hard time catching a decent sized fish. It's just, I think it's weird for a kid until you're about probably 10.
Mm-hmm.
This is the hardest part for a kid is the reeling.
Oh, yeah. Mine was a Zebco 202. 6 pounds. Yep.
I believe we've all got started out on those 202s.
Yep.
Man, you can hear that little reel just screaming inside.
Right.
Trying to tighten that little round thing up. Man. So what draws you to the flatheads? I know you said you love your flatheads. What draws you to them so much?
I just like them. I like the way they fight. I like the way they just jerk you back down to the bottom, you know. I just like that wide head. I just like that mud cat. I like the different colors they throw, you know, the greens, and I'm a flathead guy.
They're harder to catch too, and there's not as many of them.
You know,
so
they are
to be able to be pretty good at catching them. You've got to put in a monstrous amount of time, effort on the water. So I know you've been doing it a long time. You make it look pretty easy.
I try to just keep all my brim here, you know what I'm saying, so I don't have to go get it. So I keep a stock tank here where I can try to keep 200. I'd like to keep 150, 200 at all times, you know. Here lately I hadn't been fishing a lot, you know, taking care of mama and stuff here and there. So the bait tank's been low. But I normally average, you know, to keep 150, 200 brim in my tank. And, you know, a lot of times I'm fishing these tournaments, you know, and brim ain't my bait of choice either, you know. Them brim's just for them flatheads when you can't catch the brim any other time, and I got them. Or, you know,
so you mostly use brim for your flatheads.
I do, you know. I've caught them on crappie. I've caught them on bass, you know.
You like what, bluegill, or do you prefer a green sunfish?
Bluegill is what I use. Yeah.
What size hook you run, and what's your rig?
You probably every one of those flathead pictures you got of me is all on number 8. 8-aught hooks.
Yep, I told a guy today. He's asking about flatheads. I said 8-aught hook.
Yeah, and you know I got all 10s and 12s, and I got all that good stuff. But those were number 8. Those were number 8s right there. And you know I'm filling up that pallet, that lip too. It's full. It's there. And a lot of people's like, man, there ain't no way you're gonna catch that big old fish on that hook right there. You know, I've seen it. It does. It works good.
I think having that 8-aught helps that bluegill stay a little more lively as well. Instead of, if you put a 10, that thing's just like pinned down and it tires itself out and then dies quicker. It seemed like.
Right. And you know, if anything, it hides the hook too. It ain't as big. You know, I've got where I like to try to hide my hook a lot. You know,
Tub, like you know, I played around on how to hook those brim. In this day, you know, I still have certain areas I like, so you don't kill the fish, but yet you just get enough to where you know when that hit happens that hook's gonna do its job.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, you fish a lot of the rivers like what we do and stuff, and you know I love it when that old flathead just buries that rod. You got Rebecca over here coming across me. You know she already knows that's mine.
Oh yeah.
She loves them flatheads.
Tub, Rich is asking, what do you use for food to keep that amount of bluegill alive?
I normally just feed them night crawlers.
Yeah.
I feed them night crawlers. I normally kept about 20,000 worms in a bin. So I done my own little red wigglers also. So I had my red wigglers for all my bait to go get them, because you can't catch them in a net. You catch them on rod and reel. And so we would, every day after work, me and daughter's wife, we would go hit ponds. You know, everybody around my neighborhood seems to like me. They let me fish, and I get to hit ponds, this and that, and go to the river and tear them up too. And them old brim, I keep them brim alive in my tank for 6-7 months. I mean, they love it. And, you know, I bring perch here or something. You know, old perch seems to die off on me in 4 days. And I'm sure I could fix it and do something different, but I just need them for a brim tank. You know, when I go to a normal when I go to a tournament, you know, I'm normally got a little bit of everything. I'm just not going in. Brim is not my favorite bait by choice either. You know, that's just my flathead candy.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm going fishing, you know, of course, shad's going to be my best of choice. Then I like some crappie, you know.
Micah says he says he caught that big Tennessee State record he caught come off an 8/0 Gamakatsu circle hook.
Mike Burgett.
And
Yes,
JTC says he's size 7 hooks all the time.
I tell you what, I believe I'm dropping back down from them 10s and 12s. I think I'm going back to 8/0. If I got 20 rods, I say I'm half and half, you know. But I'm seeing I'm just having better luck with smaller hooks. Maybe it's on my yak and chain, and I'm not fishing James River.
I think it's a flathead thing as well.
Right.
They inhale that bait. It's a little different than a blue cat who's sometimes just crushing that thing and trying to injure it. Where I use 8s for 25 years, and I lost a lot of big fish using 8s. But I'm 99% blue cat until I moved to 10, and it remedied a lot of it. When I moved to 12, right, it almost losing fish almost went away. It's really that dramatic moving from an 8 to a 12. When you're anything over 40, when you stick it with an 8, there's a good chance if you don't have a perfect hook set where it gets either behind the tooth patch or right in the corner of the mouth. If you hit the tooth patch, you will lose it. If you whisker hook it, you'll lose it on that 8. Now, and I've used tons of different 8s, so it's not. It wasn't just the hook; it was the hook size.
Yeah,
I think for big blues, moving up to a 10 or a 12 will actually dramatically increase that hookup. But my buddies that are big flathead guys say you move up to that 10 or 12 and you will start losing a lot of flatheads.
I believe it.
So why is that? Because
I don't know, but I've lost more with 10 and 12 out hooks, no matter whose hooks they are, not the hooks,
right?
But it's the fish and the hookup itself. I know that the picture of that 58-pound flathead you got there. I had C2 Outdoors with me, Chad Suggs. He was with me tonight. We caught that, and that was a number 8. It was a Gamanchu hook, and I want to tell you that thing was hooked up right in the center of his top palate, right there, his tooth plate, and oh my God, it was like pulling. I swear he was 80 or 90 pounds. He was pissed, being in that top palate right there, and he would not come up. I mean, yeah. But
with all the pre-made leaders that we do here, between the blues, you go anywhere. A lot of people likes the 10s, and like you were talking, Chris,
right?
But when you start dropping from the 8s to the 9s for the flatheads and stuff, those two right there. I've even got people now asking me about 7s, and
right.
Stuff like that.
I guess the main thing would be, the hook's so big, you're going to you're going to hit the spine or something in the fish. You're going to throw little brim. You might have big brim, but it all depends what you got.
Yeah.
It's we all the time go out there with 1 2 inches long, but we do got one that long too. But know that big old hook, man, that big old hook, it hurts them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So a thinner wire, but still strong enough to hold a fish. So the thinner wire is basically a live bait hook. But
yes.
I tell you the truth, I like a thinner wire for my big blue cats because
Right.
I feel like that a heavier hook when I'm dragging, which I drag probably 90% of the time. When I'm dragging, if I've got a big, heavy 12-aught hook, my bait's riding like this.
Yeah.
To me, that's not a natural presentation. And the beauty of dragging is, you're bringing your bait along like it's injured. If it's floating like this, it's not.
You're not getting it.
Not a natural presentation.
Right.
I've noticed when I use a thinner wire hook that I get a lot more action and I just think it's presentation, because presentation is probably the number one thing that a lot of, I'd say, mid-level anglers overlook when they're like, I don't understand. How did you catch so many damn big fish and I fished right next to you? And I'm just like, it's presentation. So I think that probably has a lot to do with having a thinner wired hook.
Right.
Your bait's more natural. It's probably the same with a live bait.
And that's what I love about that 10-aught hook, Chris, that we have. It's not a heavy hook. It's a lighter hook. And it seems that hook really works.
I love that hook. Especially for my stinger rigs. I put that 10-aught in the tail. I feel like when I drag it through the water, because I'll take a bait and drag it. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
If it's sitting like this, I'm like, that ain't right. I put that 10-aught in the tail and it's dancing along. I'm like, that's irresistible. I mean, it's going to get hammered.
Just like Tub was talking, I've got so many Mad Cat rods down there. I've got them set up for anchor fishing. I've got the 8s and I've got the 9s on for, those flatheads. Then when I go to dragging, I got the 10s on and stuff like that, so I don't have to re-rig every rod I got. You know how we are about our Mad Cat rods.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's a totally different game when you go from anchoring to just dragging. We were talking about this on a show the other night. Go to Santee, it's a different animal than it's going, say, to the Great PD River here locally. I mean, it's two totally different ball games.
Right.
And your rigs and everything is just so different. What's he got there?
Them hooks, I've seen people miss a ton of big fish on thick hooks. Rod got hammered and the hook dragged a bunch of drag but didn't hook up. I'll tell you what, Jeremy, I believe the reason is because that thing's dangling like this.
Yeah.
Fish hammers it. The hook is not in the right position. When traditionally a blue cat, now I know, like a flathead's going to just inhale the bait as it's really close to it, but a blue is going to attack it. And if the hook is in the right position, when he hits that thing and you crank down, you got him. It's almost every single time you will get him. But I do feel like if that thing's riding like this, you will lose half.
Oh, yeah.
You'll lose half. So that's the way I look at it.
Oh, yeah.
And just like I'm reading here in chat, Chris, a lot of people don't realize, on a thicker hook, it takes a rod with more of a backbone to really get that hook up also.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely correct on that. That's for sure. Because you go from like our Mad Cat heavies we've got to all the way to the mediums, if you're going to use a little bit thicker hook, you better go with that heavier rod.
Right. Yes, sir.
And Tub, I know when you're anchor fishing to dragging, what's your rod range? I mean, do you like the medium heavies? I mean, how you like yours set up?
I like medium heavies for pulling boards, and I use my heavy action rods when I'm anchored. So that's the way I set them up, and I have my 2 down rods. They normally heavy action rods, but that's how I set it up. And normally Carolina style, I've gone to a swivel, got rid of the line slide, the line slider, got rid of it because I fished so shallow back in the flats at High Rock. I got tired of the floats coming up to the top a lot.
Yeah.
So just putting the swivel and the swivel in there, that keeps me down. It keeps it all down on the bottom. So I like
That's
it.
basically how I do it too, Tub. At a
Yeah.
certain time of year, I put the 3-way swivel on.
Yeah.
I know, a lot of guys just use a regular swivel and attach to that with the weight, but I like to use a 3-way. But if I'm just dragging, I like the sinker slide. And I'll tell you the reason why is because I don't just drop my rods in. I send them. And
Right.
when you send them, that 3-way swivel gets tangled on itself a lot more than when you have a sinker slide. When you send that sinker slide long, it detaches from your rig,
And just goes.
and so you're not, bringing the thing in after you lose the fish. It's all fouled up, and you're like,
Right. So I have swapped over to that. That swivel. That's the ticket for me. And like I say, these bad boys right here.
oh yeah,
Yeah, them bad boys right there.
I've got every color. I'll tell you, the only problem though with running Carolina lake weights is you got to check your line, because you can't just rely on breaking off to have fresh line anymore. Now you got to be more diligent on checking your line, because I've got rods with the same rig on. It's been on there all year, and I got to go in there and make sure that the hook's sharp and the line's not nicked, and so that's a good problem to have. So
It is.
Tub, they work real well anchoring too. I know we
They do. They do. They sure do.
We actually fish a lot more heavier structure. I'm not saying that because we Carolina lake weights, but when you get away and you using that that drifting weight and you fishing that structure, it helps you get out of it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So Facebook user says he uses heavy for dragging for better hook sets. Now, I gotta say that I use mediums for dragging because, and I've got every action of Mad Cats, all the way from medium lights to mediums to medium heavies to heavies. I got every action. I've drug them all side by side. For me, the mediums get much more action. They get hung up less. I think the reason is because a heavier rod is springier. If you do get your weight or your rig hung up and it comes through, a lot of times that medium heavy will slingshot your bait and your rig, and your hook is what's getting hung. It's not the Carolina lake weight. If you're going to lose your rig, it's generally the hook getting sprung and pulled, slung shot onto a tree stump or something like that. And I know that when my stuff comes through with the medium, when it does get hung and comes through, it just goes back like that. And a medium heavy goes back like that, and the heavy just goes back like that, and it's hung. And so that's my preference. I went off of what Zach was doing, and he was using medium lights. I ran medium lights for a long time, and they worked great, but they are harder to control fish. But the Mad Cat's medium is what I use. It's very similar to most rods, medium heavies. I feel like my medium heavy Mad Cats are more like a heavy rod. And my heavies, to me, that's for heavy current, or pulling something out of the stump field. If I'm anchoring, I'll bring those out. But that's my take on dragging. Now, everybody has their personal preference, but
yeah.
Well, I look at it sometimes like a bow and arrow. The harder you pull that thing back, it's going to have that release. It's going to be a quicker release. And when you have that little bit lighter, it's not as intense.
Right.
So I'm not going to, I've got a lot of medium heavies that we use, in the dragging time, but it all depends on where I'm dragging at sometimes. Like when we go to Santee, I'll drag more with a medium But when I go to certain areas to Santee, I'll switch over to the medium heavies because it all depends on that bottom structure that we're fishing.
Yeah.
You know, when you pull that thing back, you know, it all depends on knowing if it's going to slingshot to that next.
I also feel like when you're dragging, you're trying to present your baits like it's an injured bait fish, something that's just recently been hammered. Because that's what blue cats, they want an easier meal. They don't want a fresh, they will eat a fresh one that's swimming through, but they would rather have, they follow other predatorial type fish around that already has injured it. And then they think, oh, that thing's easy. I'm just going to go, I'm going to get it. And I feel like dragging, that's why dragging is so, it's such a great technique because you can present your bait like it's an injured bait fish. It's moving slowly, you know, with each little bump and wave, it's moving. So I feel like that medium swims it a little bit better if you're on a rockier bottom rather than kind of being a jerky. But it is all preference. I
like it.
You know, I bought a lot of the dragging technique to the anchor side of things, even to the, you know, and we've talked about it before with the planer boards, getting them, you know, lines away from the boat. You know, we've bought a lot of that too, you know, the anchor game, and it has really helped us out, you know, at bringing some of that to that side of it. Because normally when you're thinking about anchoring, you're like, just throw the rods, you know, straight out and go with it. And now here you are. People look at us like we're crazy when you got them boards out. You can line that thing up and definitely, you know, anchoring that current helps you.
So Clayton asked if Mad Cats makes a medium light. Yes, they do. These were my original planer board rods. I've caught tens of thousands of pounds of trophy cats on these.
The puzzle.
They were great for pulling boards.
That thing has some work done to it. Boy, that thing was dirty.
Yeah.
I'm going on my fourth set. So
I got a bunch of those right there.
I got the OG Orange Crush, and then I went to puzzles. Now I've got two more sets I just started on. One's from all the winnings of me and Jackson. So we got the Goblins. Those are all mediums.
Oh yeah,
those are my preferred rods for dragging. But we also got a bunch of carbines. So
yeah,
they did well. They caught some big fish last trip. They did good.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I know the problem with having all the Mad Cat rods is I'm running out of space. So, you know, every time I go up there to see Matt and them guys, or we going to take some weights up there, let's pick up a couple of other rods, you know. And I'm like, so we're running out of boat space, that's for sure.
Another one of our teammates here asked, he's about to start dragging. So he's a flathead guy. Any tips for beginners in dragging? And we probably all got tips for that. So let's start with Tub. Got any tips for the new guy who's dragging, Tub?
Don't get tangled up. I guess that's the key. That's the hardest part, you know. I guess I like to throw my corners out first. You know, everybody's going to have their own preference how you put this together. But I like to throw my ends out first and send them out. And then I like to drop in right behind them, depending on how far out you're going to go. If you're going 75 foot, 100 foot. But, no, the key is keep that boat straight. Go into the wind. I like them speeds around 0.5, 0.6. You know, I have got aggressive and just been out there all day and not done no good, and I went 0.9. You know, just give it some aggressiveness and try.
Sometimes I think if you switch it up, you know, you can start. You'll actually trigger some more action.
Right.
Especially if you're using rattles and stuff, I think you can start making a little more noise and calling them in. So
exactly.
I think if I was going to tell a new guy starting out, I would say start just slow and just start with two boards, get comfortable with that, it's going to take you about 2 trips to do 2 boards, and then put another board, another set of boards on. And then, as you get comfortable with getting hung up and untangling things and running, if you try to do too much, it's overwhelming for guys, and they're like, man, it's crazy what you got going on that boat, Chris.
I'm 3 out the left, 3 out the right. So that's all I like. That's me.
Yeah. But if you're talking about tactics, I would say try to find, an area that's got fish, but also look for some type of ambush structure, like the end of a point, the bend in a channel, a ledge.
Yeah.
Try to, and for me, if you can have 3 of those things on your drag, that's really the key to doing better. There's one of those all over the place, but if you can find 3 of those in a pretty close area, you're going to catch big fish a lot more than if you're just out there blindly doing it. So that would be my number one thing, is come up with a little game plan for each time you're going to set up your drag.
In my areas, we have drug as many as 8 boards, 4 on each side, and then we would have one right close to the boat. But what we look for, or what I like a lot of different elevations. I like some of the deep holes, the shallow holes, a lot of the ledges, constantly up and down. And that way you can pinpoint and close in when you're looking at your, your graph. If it's a deeper hole, and a lot of the fish is holding up there, that might change up your next drift. Okay, I need to find another ledge that has a little bit deeper holes. So it's a lot of patience and stuff, when you drag it. And, when, like I said, if you find them, they might be shallower. Start fishing some of the shallower areas. So always on my first drift, I like a lot of different elevations so I can pinpoint and figure out where they're actually holding up at.
Right.
I think some of these guys are talking about speed, and I think speed is crucial. As the water cools down, you're going to want to go slower. On days where they're laying in the mud, you want to almost be going nothing. And guys are like, well, how do I get them to my boards to spread? And you'll hear me say it constantly. Don't worry about your boards spreading on a day like that. Worry about being on the fish, and then once you're on them, go slow, as slow as you can. Right. Sometimes it's only 0.2. And you're going to find that extra half second that you're putting that bait, if you're in the right area, it's in front of their face for a little extra, and that makes all the difference when you're dragging. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the warmer the weather, the faster you can go. If there's wind, you can go even a little faster. I generally don't go over about 0.6, 0.7. Even when it's really hot, really windy, I typically try to stay around 0.5, 0.6.
And Chris, you were talking about people wondering about their boards on days, certain days. Use the wind. I try to use the wind to my advantage. If I'm going to slow it down and my boards are quiet, doing what I want, I'll use that. If there is wind, I'll use it to my advantage to actually use it to pull my boards out.
Yeah, correct.
So I might do a totally and face into the wind just to go slow, but use the wind to pull them away from the boat.
That's how I do it.
That's how, just patience.
And I know fishing a lake and fishing a river are really night and day. It's completely different. But certain days in a lake, the fish are feeding into the wind. If you are turned around and going against the wind, you will not catch a single fish. Nah. It's just they don't want the bait. Am I frozen?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, you froze on us there, buddy. We got some thunderstorms close in our area. Sometimes
we had them earlier. We had them earlier.
That's why we've been kind of skipping in and out. But you're right.
I was saying, certain days the fish only want the bait presented a certain way. They feed into the wind. When you look at them on the graph, every single fish is oriented a certain way. They want the bait coming to them. And if you turn around and go the other way, you won't catch a single fish. So that all comes with time on the water. Dragging is easy to do and difficult to master. And I've been doing it for over 8 years. I still learn new little nuances. I still get a little bit better at it each year, even though I do it every week.
Right.
It's just, you're going to keep learning. There's learning never ends. So,
You know, if you just so know what I'm going to probably say is anchor fishing, I love to death. That's what I was born and raised, was anchor fishing. I can lean back in that seat, kick my legs up, no care in the world. But when you go to dragging, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's constantly, you're always having to jump up, move a rod, do something, especially your close rods behind the boat. If it's just a little bit, you got to keep that thing perfectly straight. So dragging is a lot of work.
Good deckhand. A good deckhand, man, really helps.
I've got one of the best in the business, Rebecca. She keeps it all straight. If it wasn't for her, I'd be lost.
I fish with a tornado. So, well, you want to talk about chaos catfishing, boy. When we're on them, there is nothing more chaotic than having a 7-year-old bring in a big fish through a 10-rod spread, keeping it in the rod holder. He's not controlling anything.
It makes me nervous when I watch it. I'm like, there he goes. But tell what's your next fishing adventure? What's your next tournament?
Well, I tell you, next tournaments, I took 4 months off. I told Matt and them, I said, Dave, I told all my clients, I said, I'm going to get quiet for about 4 months. I'm in the process of building me a house right now. So, I can get that bad boy done. So here for long, it's already sold, so I gotta hurry up. So that's what I'm on to. So we're building a house and, trying to, like I said, I told y'all earlier, I downsized a lot, and I'm trying to get where I can. I've been a workaholic ever since I was old enough to work, and I'm wanting to enjoy life. I'm wanting to enjoy fishing, and I'm wanting to enjoy what time I have with my wife. And we went so many years, and just no vacations and stuff, And now, hey, we there's a different outlook. So I'm downsizing the herd a lot and getting rid of all the headache stuff, and still going to stay comfortable, but. Like I say, when we was at Santee, me, Matt, Wawa, and Dave, we was out on the boat. Telephone rings. I answered it. It was the wife. She says, you're going to be mad at me, Don. I'm like, okay. She says, I just sold the house.
Boy, that's something you don't hear every day.
Yeah. So I'm out there fishing with Matt and them, and I get a phone call and says the house has been sold. And so when I got home Monday, it was sold. So I threw something up and a plan, and done got past the footings and all the plumbing, and waiting on some roof trusses, and trying to get in there in the next 2 or 3 months. But this summertime fishing right now is not my favorite. It's tough out there.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Try fishing in Texas, buddy. It's 100. It's going to be 104 here in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and I know a bunch of guys out there fishing, and everybody needs to fish. That's great. I wish I could be out there fishing every day. But priorities right now, I got to get these knocked out. But like I say, 3 to 4 months. Through the winter, I'm planning on getting in all these new tournaments. I'm planning on getting out there. Planning on hitting Santee. I want to do the Catfish Brawl and the whole Yak and Chain. I'm going to get out to James River. I'm going to James River. We already got that planned for this year. Already got my partner on it. So we already got it planned coming up. So I hope we can do something good out there for the King of James.
I'm definitely gonna have to hit you up because I'm definitely myself and Rebecca. We definitely want to fish that, so you're gonna have to help me out. I've never been up there before, so we're definitely wanting to get up there and do some fishing with y'all guys.
Right. Well, I can't wait till you come up. We definitely do it.
Well, I know the Ice Bowl this year. That's on our list. That's going. We just looking forward to getting up there and learning some of the new places that we hadn't fished before.
Right. And I'm learning a lot of them, but I'm learning them quick because I know all the guys like you, and hey, y'all help out so much, and we help out to all the people that's looking into us tonight and answering all these questions. I mean, they're learning from us, and I've learned so much on this pro staff, field staff, sponsor trail. I've learned so much, and it's speeded the progress way up, and just sitting out there trying to figure it out, living in the woods by yourself.
Yeah.
The things we do today, the way we fish today, than the way we used to fish back 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to go out there with corn in a can.
That's why we love doing this show. Is so educational. Hearing so many people, their different techniques. That's what we were wanting to bring to the show. And sitting here listening, how you fish, how somebody, I learn every weekend, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm learning a lot. So,
Clayton says, "What's an affordable fish finder that will help you drag more efficiently?" Now, mine's not affordable. You got to cut off your pinky to get one that I got, but you guys are probably all this. I know Tubbs got a high dollar one. Jamie's probably got the same one I do. So I wouldn't say the one I got's affordable, but if I were going to get one and for the least amount that I could spend and still do everything that I wanted it to do, I would get a Helix 10. And if I couldn't afford it, I wouldn't buy one until I saved up my pennies to get that.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't get a smaller one because you're not going to be happy. You can't see fish like you can on a 10. And even when you go up to a 12, it's dramatic. You'd say, oh, it's only 2 inches. It's a dramatic difference fish finding wise every time you go up a notch. So I wouldn't get anything less than a 10-inch monitor. I prefer Humminbird Helix. That's what I've been using for most of my life. So that's what I'm comfortable with. Every brand makes a good fish finder now. It's just what you like.
Right.
So what kind of fish finders do you guys use? And if you were telling a new guy, give him some advice on picking one.
My advice I'm Garmin. I have a Garmin 12-inch touchscreen Echo Map on my console. I got a 12-inch Echo Map touchscreen at the back of my boat where my multi-bars are. And I have a 10-inch beside the steering wheel. It's a touchscreen Echo Map. And a 10-inch screen on the bow of the boat.
Oh,
that's why I started.
Tubbs got more in his electronics than I got in my boat. Well,
we got a live scope hole going off the passenger side over there also. But it works together. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Humminbird man now. I've spent a lot of money and where I'm at today and setting up my boat like I wanted to set it up. But Garmin is perfect. I like it for going to get the bait.
Yeah.
Going to get the bait. If you're going to sit up front on the old bass stool up there and crappie fish and brim fish, I think Garmin's going to be the way to go. But if you're messing with the side scan and you really looking out, it's hard to beat that Humminbird. Everybody's going.
Tub, a lot of my buddies are like, oh yeah, Lawrence and Garmin and blah blah blah, and then they come fish on my boat and they're like, Humminbird.
Yeah,
they're like, now I get it.
Now let me ask y'all a question. We're talking now. a lot of people have a hummingbird, a Garmin, or a hummingbird, and a couple different ones. So because they say, well, my hummingbird's going to show me one thing, and then they're basically back and forth.
And
Myself, I like being able to set one up and just going off of that one. But what do y'all think about that?
The way mine's set up, I can put live scope on one screen, and I can put 2D sonar on another screen, and I can put something else on the other screen. I have ran all 4 screens now. It gets on the batteries pretty good.
Yeah.
But I run everything. Everything's plug and play, and I run it into a Snickers bar. So there's no terminals on the boat. Everything's plug and play. I took all the gauges out of the boat and ran Nemo 2000, Yamaha Link Command. I ran both of them, and so I don't have to deal with the gauges and stuff. But I like the way I got it set up. But now I want to. I need a Solix 15. I need a Solix 15 up there and get rid of 2 of them. Yeah, I'll probably keep.
My buddy just got 3 Apex 19s, and I'm like, damn. Like, what? Price tag on those things, but man, they're beautiful. You can really see a lot more detail with them.
Right.
Guys like, well, I don't get it. Like, how, if you had the ideal setup, how would you set yours up? Now, I know you got one at the back of the boat, but for me, when I'm looking for fish, I'm on the motor. So if I wanted mine to be set up perfectly, I would have my side image on one side, all on one screen.
Right.
I would have side image on my right screen, all on one screen, and then I would want a map because I use side image to find my fish the majority of the time. I use 2D with my side image to determine the species. I use that side image to see how they're relating to the structure and how I'm going to set up on them. I know a lot of guys use down scan. I don't use down scan.
I'm not a down scan person.
I mean, I just don't use it. It's ever.
It may be my problem a lot of times, but
that kind of goes back towards the old school style. You try to bring with the new technology. You just sort of your mindset. You're trying to learn all this new stuff. That's like Rebecca. She says, "Put one on my side," and you got yours. And she's pretty good with that because she has a certain way. She uses more of the old school, way than the way we do it now. And we actually catch more fish by not going so in depth with it, So.
And I fished with so many anglers out there over the last 3 years. I mean, just jumping on people's boat and people jumping on my boat. And you jump on my boat, I let you take the driver's seat. I jump over on the passenger seat. I let you run it and play with it. And hey, it's a pretty neat little setup. But just being out there with everybody and all these anglers and stuff, everybody looks at it a little bit different. I ask each one I ever been with, what do you see there? What fish is that? Or so I try to learn from everybody, but it seems like when you figure it out, it's
a light bulb.
It
goes off and you just know it. It becomes, for years you're like, I'm not sure. I'm gonna pretend like I know, but I don't. Until you see the fish, you catch the fish that you see. Then you're like, okay, what I was looking at was a 35-pounder. Now you got to go catch the 40 and the 50. And you do that enough over and over. You're like, okay, that fish is 65 feet out to the left. It's around a 40-pounder.
Right.
My buddies are like, no way you can tell that. And then 2 minutes later, bang, 40-pounder in the boat. So that takes a lot of time. I think learning that graph is probably the hardest thing in fishing to really have 100% confidence in what you're doing.
And I've learned staying in the nursery, it hurts you. If you get in a spot and you're just catching a bunch of 12-pounders, you know what I mean? I've sit on them all night long and just wasted the moonlight on a tournament night. But I've done found out, you got to get out of that nursery. You go out there and find you 2 or 3 spots running to, whatever you call your fish on your graph. But you find you 2 or 3 running together. And I found out it's definitely much quality. It's better fish, so I found that to help me a lot, even though you might not bring 38 pound or 45 pound to the scales, but, everybody's having a bad day anyway. But I found out it's better to get out of that nursery.
Tub, I found myself during a tournament, you got to go for the bigger fish to win that tournament.
Right.
And like you were just talking about, you can stay in Dinkville, or you can,
Hello, everyone.
I've spent as much as 2.5 hours in a tournament just looking around for those 2 fish that I know is going to put me in the top in that tournament. That's real important.
Right. Exactly.
What you say, buddy?
Tub, he's the one that made
What's
it.
up, bud?
Well,
How you doing there, big feller?
Good.
Good. Good to see you.
How you feeling today, Jackson?
Good.
Nice, buddy.
I've been seeing all them monster fish.
You know what's fun is watching him when Chris was talking about the canopy up on top of his boat. Sometimes Jackson hanging from that upside down, or
I watch him all the time. I tell you, the boy's good. The boy's good. He done caught bigger fish than I ever thought about catching.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about. Show it.
There you go, buddy. Be proud of that one.
Yes, sir.
You need to show them this.
I feel it.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Yeah,
That's my life, guys.
that's your life right there.
You done wore that one out, didn't you, buddy?
We broke that one this weekend. So. That one got tornadoed.
There it is.
That
You
tub
ready
made
for
that.
an 80-pounder, ain't you there?
Tub made that one.
Yep, you ready for an 80.
Ah!
That's what it's all about, Tub. The younger generation, I'd rather watch Jackson or, some of the youth anglers catch fish. I love to just sit back and watch it, man. I mean, it's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
It takes me back to my younger years when I was, young. It seemed like forever. It's just so much enjoyment and stuff. Just like you were talking about, with your daughters growing up and stuff. It fishing with your family, just so much enjoyment that you just remember those times.
Right. Exactly. Exactly right.
It's just things that you wish you could just go back and relive some of them times, just get that back and stuff with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know with my boys when they were younger, they all the time want to go. Now they got into girls and dating and stuff and doing their own thing. So,
Yeah, your daughter, she just graduated, didn't she?
yeah, she just graduated and it's true.
I tell you, you're right on my footsteps. You're right behind me.
Oh man. I hope she waits on that part for a while. I know between myself and Rebecca, we got 7 head and we love each and every one of them, all time, taking them fishing and just enjoying that family time. That's what it's all about. It kind of resets you. So much tournament fishing and you get so worked up, but when you take that time off and enjoy yourself with the family, you
Right.
reset yourself, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter hits me up. She hits me up Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I said, well, thank you, Hannah. She says, you're going to be granddad, too.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
brother.
so now it's going. I guess it's going to be Papa Tub, right?
Yeah, you have a new fishing partner to train up.
Yep.
Pretty
That's
cool.
more fish. Hey, I told her that's more fishing gear. That's more fishing gear.
That's more excuse to have more rods and all that stuff.
Yeah. They just they don't stay little long though, brother. They don't stay little long.
They don't. They don't.
I didn't get no boys. I got 2 girls, so I don't know. I treated them 2 girls though like boys. They all through the deer hunting, and I used to do taxidermy too. I was real big into taxidermy and chasing seminars, and yeah, they grew up in me tanning deer and elk and bear and stuff. So they had the country life. They did.
That's what it's all about, man. That's awesome. That really.
Yeah.
So what do you got coming up? What do you got coming up in the next few weeks, Tub?
I guess just work, get some things knocked out. I got a boat sitting in here that's I got to get this bad boy out done. I do. That's a little hobby job for me. I got a lot of hobbies going on, of course, but the boat's one sitting in here beside me right now. Here, I'm in my shop where I'm at, but I'm in here with it. But I tell you what, when you get into some fabrication and you start moving some stuff, and you just got to know how to get to it. You got to know what you're doing when you get to it. And it's nothing quick. I take pride in my work. So this man gets his boat back, he's gonna be tickled pink, bud. He is. He's gonna be tickled pink. But yeah, I would like to say I do it for a living, but you know, I don't know. I'm downsizing that construction trade a little bit and crane pick and choose, but I'm going on to CNC. I'm going on the CNC side. I'll be able to, I can just take some orders in and cut some orders. That's how it's been. I'm in 17 different states with them signs. A lot of people don't know, but 17 different states is what I made it in. Just making the, just people calling me just for whatever they want, and I'm sending it out. So I'm running behind like on everything. I got a lot of buddies out there probably saying, "Hey, I need my sign." But hey, we're getting it, and you know, it's a learning curve. I didn't walk in natural gas oven, so we can get it done. You know, it's just.
What about you, Jamie? I know you just coming off of sickness, so it's time to probably put your nose back to the grindstone. So guys that don't know, Jamie, he's sick last week with pneumonia.
Bad sick.
His blood sugar got completely out of whack. I mean, he was in a bad way. I talked to him just about every day, and it was, man, there was days where he couldn't hardly talk. So I can tell you're feeling better. It looks like you've lost some weight.
Well, we don't want to get too down there. I got to keep up my manly figure, but you know, I've got to say thank you. You know, thanks. You know, for everybody out there. You know, all the love, everybody. You know, texting Rebecca and you know just asking her, hey, how's Jamie doing? You know, we've got a big family, y'all, and this catfishing. You know, everybody. All of our teammates, all of the people, it's just been overwhelming. You know, at everybody, you know,
Yeah.
Prayers for you. You know, hope you get better. And y'all guys, y'all don't know how much we appreciate it. That's for sure.
Yeah, same here too.
You know, you really don't know how many people really you know, I say love you, man, and you know, there's a lot of them out there. You really, it's really overwhelming.
Yeah, this catfishing thing's brought. It brings people together.
Yeah,
it does.
There is a segment of it that kind of drives certain people apart, but when you find like-minded people, they tend to stick together. So I know what we've built. I'm super proud to call these people family now. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool to have guys that all live from all different parts of the country, all different walks of life. Tubbs, my brother.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yep.
Rebecca's my sister. I've got all these teammates now I love these guys and I've become great friends with them. We talk almost daily. And none of that would have been the case if it weren't for our little catfishing community that we've built. So,
Right.
You know, we've got one hell of a team, one hell of a family, and once you're family, you know, you're family, and you know you can pick up that phone and say, "Hey, brother, you know, I need something."
I've had
one of us, we would be there for you, you know, or just to talk. So, that's what it's all about. It's that having that
Yeah.
real big family. And, it's been awesome. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've had so many people reach out to us. It's unreal.
That's it.
The catfishing communities come together. I mean, we've been all over the place. I like to say I've been all over the world, but it's we've been a lot of places, a lot of hospitals. I mean, thousands of miles left or right. And the fishing communities come in, and when I didn't ask for nothing, and come in and helped out, and then cha-ching again. It wasn't 4 months later. They throwed on another little tournament here and there and helped carry out. I said, none of this ain't for, this is for Carrie, not me. And it's amazing for the love that's out there. And I tell you what, if I can give it back to anybody, I sure will.
Myself, we've had some conversations, Tub, and I enjoy talking to y'all, man. And like I said, it's like you're right next door to me, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a phone call away or something like that. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. It is.
But,
yeah.
JBN says, "What's up, Tub? Lizard Man."
All right. How you doing, bud? Yes, sir.
and there's a lot of great organizations out there that, Carolina Lake Weights is, we're going to team up with. We've already teamed up with, want to give back, want to do a lot of great things. And that's what makes it so good. It fills your heart.
Right.
So,
yes. I'm trying my best to set my goals around here. When you finally reach an age, I don't know what old age is, but when you reach an age, finally there's a point where you're going to start changing things up, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now, and I'm changing up for the better, so I can spend more time with the fishing. And I'm wanting to go out on the King Cat Trail next year. I'm really wanting to get out to Alabama. I'm the wife. She's wanting an RV style. She's wanting to go, and so I'm definitely going to step my game up. And like I say, it's just these next couple months is kind of quiet on me, but we're doing this so we can go.
JVN says you're old, Tubbs, but I'm pretty sure all three of us are pretty much the exact same age. I'm 49. Tubbs,
Yeah.
you're 49.
Yeah.
I'm 47. So
okay, we are
youngster.
And
youngster.
What about JBN? He's probably 55, right? He's my boy, man. Yeah.
But I know I'm looking forward to the battle this weekend. We, like I said earlier, we've got the tournament Saturday night. Hopefully the weather will hold off, depending on what they say if they're going to have it. But I saw earlier Russell. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Saturday night. That's going to be the first tournament back for myself and Rebecca. So it's time to get back to it. That's for sure.
That's on PD River, right?
Yeah, that's on the PD River out the Wits. I believe the Wits landing. So we're ready for it. That seems like when Rebecca she shows out on the PD, so we love it.
I'm gonna try my best to make it to that.
She gonna let you catch one, Jamie, since you've been sick?
Well, I was lucky, like I said, 2 weeks ago I hooked in that 58, so she's gonna move me to the side, and I'm gonna let her take it over, man. So that girl can do it to it.
She can. She can.
Yeah, I love watching her not even use a net. She loves just reaching right in that water and yanking them out. So that's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
You try to offer her a net, she's like, "What? Come on now."
Russell says the river's coming up quick. It's not looking good, boys.
I guarantee you, High Rock. I rode across it earlier today, and it was roaring. Yeah, I come across the bridge, and it's up.
They may cancel the tournament if it's flowing too hard, right?
Well, they Well, that for sure, because I believe tomorrow we're expecting a lot of rain tomorrow. Well, we got a percentage of rain every day. Even right now, I think they're closed almost 60 or 70% here on Saturday. So the river's definitely shooting up, and that PD, the Great PD, can really get very hairy on times like that with all the floating debris and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So David says he's gave up on all the pro staff and seminars, guiding shows, and a few years ago, but he needs one of those jersey shirts like what's behind Jamie, so he can still look important.
Well, we're definitely we're working on that now, Chris.
David, I've been in the jersey design process for freaking 2 months. And this is, I think, our third attempt. Different companies we've used. I won't mention the name. First one we used, jerseys turned out awesome, but we had a lot of problems with production. I know there were several hurricanes that messed them up, but we ended up having a lot of problems with production. They messed up stuff. Every time they mess one up, it's months later before the next one's made. So it ended up being a big pain in the butt. And now we're doing it again with a different company, but going through the layout and the design, you got to tell them what you want. Then they shoot it back to you. It's not quite right. And you make changes. It's just been back and forth and back and forth, but we're very close to getting one ironed out. It's going to be similar to the one that's behind Jamie, but it's not going to be black and gray. It's going to be gray and white. It's going to be the same type of pattern. The layout will be slightly different, but we are going to offer that on Carolina Lake Weight's website. It'll be the same jersey as all the pro staff and sponsored anglers, but you won't get your name. It's going to say,
we
it's
definitely
going to say slime lover or get slimed or something to that effect. The name will be for the pro staffers. So it's going to be a great looking jersey. I'm very close to getting it ironed out. The last one turned out great. We've had a ton of people say they wish they could get one. So that's why we're going to offer this next one. Now the Mad Cats one, they just asked us for our size 2 days ago. So we'll be getting our Mad Cats jerseys, I would think, within a month. But it may take a little bit longer. They are going to offer the same jersey they give us to anyone minus the name. It'll say "Get You Some" or something like that on the back. So both those jerseys will be available to the public.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests, and we're definitely going to have, our next line will definitely be up on the Carolina Lake Weight's website to offer to the public, because we've had so many requests, and we're going to definitely make that happen for everybody.
Yeah, this next one I think should be a lot cheaper than the first batch. It should be the same quality. They're made in the USA, so they're not just cheap Pakistani jerseys. They are going to be high quality, something you can wear every single week if you fish every week. We got to be able to wash these jerseys every week and wear them the next week. So they should be high quality. They're going to look similar to those. I'm going to make damn sure that they look good because I'm the one that's designing the damn thing. So
you would think it's easy, but it's not. It's not. But yeah, we got all. We're gonna come out with another surprise. Who knows? We might come up with all kinds of stuff for the hats. We're working on a brand new line, quote that we hadn't put out yet. So we got all kinds of things. We're gonna offer all kinds of good stuff. That real men dig big kitty.
You can get that one at. Let's see here.
CLW.
That hat has. It sells like crazy, man. Rebecca, she's like, my God, I got to make up 5 or 10 more hats.
I like that one you're wearing. That's the one I've been wearing during the day.
Yep.
But this was good too. They all look good, man. But you know I love that green.
That's it. That's been a very popular color for everybody. So, but let's try
to say Chris is the one that earns that attaboy.
Attaboy.
Yeah, Russell, it looks like it will be up above flood stage by Saturday night. So,
Russell said Charlie's in the ER, so I had to step out when I posted that. So I hope he's doing all right. I imagine he probably fell or something and broke an arm. That's just a guess, but hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah.
That age kid, they tend to do some crap that gets them hurt.
definitely praying for you, buddy. But
So Operation Vets with Nets, we've been working with them to help promote what their cause, which is taking veterans out fishing. We're going to have that whole crew on. I don't know the exact date, but it's coming up. I think towards the end of June, we're going to get the whole crew of Operation Vets with Nets on here. So Rich is a good dude. I don't really know the other guys besides Hayden. He's in charge of the Texas, the delegate here in Texas that does it. So we got those guys coming up soon. That should be a good show.
they're definitely doing a lot of great things, man. And it's a lot of fun working with them, that's for sure. They're definitely doing a lot of great things. And, you know, like I said, we're very blessed here at Carolina Lake Weights to work with a lot of great people.
Yeah, I like building the partnerships and teammates and stuff. I think that's probably one of the coolest things. Other than I think probably the coolest thing we do is promoting the kids.
Yeah.
I just, guys, what do you get out of it? I'm like, well, the kids it's cool for the dads. It's cool for the kids. I think it's cool. That's what we get out of it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool for the kids to give them a little bit of recognition when they catch a big fish or when their dad's proud of them. And if it inspires another dad to take them out, even just for one weekend to go fishing, that one weekend could change that little kiddo's life. So,
yeah,
I think that's cool.
Well, so, before we get, I'm going to bring that boat of mine up there when we slow down. I'm just going to leave it with you, brother, until you do your thing with it one day.
Hey, we talked about it before, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I know you're talking about being able to go fishing more, so hopefully you get down here to Texas in the winter time.
Hey, I'm coming.
And we'll go put the hammer down on them. You can leave the boat at home. You can come fish with me. And
I will do it. I'll
show up.
Something.
You know how we do it.
Big style.
Yeah, we all just need to get together and make a trip out. That's for sure.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
I know all of our teammates kind of live in different areas. I don't know how we could do it, but it would be really cool if somehow we could get the whole, all the teammates together. I know we had a pretty good squad assembled for CatCon, but we've expanded so much since then. And we didn't get to fish, and we're all fishermen. We all went there and worked and mingled, which was cool, but it'd be cool if we could get everybody together to do what we all really love, catch fish. So
that's it. That's it.
JBN says Jamie isn't leaving South Carolina. He drove up to North Carolina last week.
He'll get the Tillery.
We do sneak away here and there. That's for sure. I heard you say Alabama earlier. That's definitely. I'm wanting to go down there and fish that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we all fit on Steve's boat? Does that guy ever have a bad trip?
Wow.
Mighty.
He catches some big fish, that's for
He
sure.
does, man. Nice fish.
But we appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, it's been
Tub, you're welcome back anytime, buddy. It's been a pleasure.
yes, sir. I appreciate you and Jamie and Rebecca. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Love
Yeah,
you.
we'll do it again
Yeah.
sometime, hopefully soon. And then, are you going to go to the Catfish Convention in August?
Yep, I'm going to be there. I'm trying not to. Yeah,
You
that's.
got to work the Mad Cats booth, right?
Yeah, I'll be there working it.
And Jamie, y'all got a booth, right?
Yeah, I said earlier we're right behind Mad Cats right there. We actually extended and got a bigger booth, which is a good thing. So we're gonna bring some more stuff. We're gonna fill it up, man.
Yeah.
Can we find out if there's a bounce house?
we might give him a text tomorrow and find out. But we're definitely looking forward to getting up there and seeing everybody. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get over there to that. That's going to be a good one. I don't know, relation to size, how big is that one going to be?
Versus Kentucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to spectate it. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be a good turnout,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to have a decent amount of vendors, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, when you say that, like, what is that?
I've got to go back and look at the list, but I know the list is growing every day. I don't know the exact number, but right now they're expecting, a very good crowd. I don't know.
Similar vendors to what was at CatCon? Different?
I heard it's going to be a mixture of vendors. There's going to be even some hunting and different.
Okay, because it's
like
not just
also.
a catfishing convention, right?
Yeah.
It's a
From what
fishing
I'm
convention.
hearing, it's going to be mixed up. So from what I'm hearing, it's going to have a mixture of everything.
And you got a house.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You own or you rent?
No, we own one
Okay.
up there. Yeah. So we're about 20 miles before you get to Gatlinburg.
All right, I'll see you there.
Let's come on. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. We're going to have a great one.
But man, I tell you, it's been a lot of fun, Tub, and like I said, brother, I've enjoyed tonight's show. It's been great.
No, I appreciate it. I've had a great time too, I had a great time.
Yep, appreciate you, Tub. Jamie, it's good.
Yes, sir.
Always. Rebecca's been very quiet last 3 shows. What? She got the shy bug, or?
I'm gonna tell you, man, Carolina Lake Weights is growing so fast, and I can hear her out in the shop right now, just banging away on the bait towels, and she's just killing it right now, man.
Okay.
She works all day out there. Half the night comes in, she'll do hats and come to bed whenever. But we love it, man, and we're going to grow even more, so stick around.
Well, we're going to keep trying to keep pushing, man. Hopefully we can keep growing this thing into a common staple for the whole catfishing community. I know the dragging weights, they are what they are, the best. I think it's cool y'all got the hats going. I think that's going to be a big thing.
Yes, sir.
Also, I'm going to try to help promote that. I think it can be cool for just the regular dude who wants a few hats.
Oh yeah, good hats,
tournament hats, or their YouTube channel, or their TikTok, or whatever guys are doing. Their tournament team, or I think it's cool. So I'm gonna be ordering a bunch of different stuff from you. I'm gonna get you to do some T-shirts, some hats. I got to get an order in with Tub to get the boat name. I need an 80-pound club for Jackson.
We got you.
It looks like we're all gonna be busy for a while.
Yeah, that's why I'm having to build. That's why I'm having to build my house onto my shop.
That's what I think I think that's what we're gonna do is just build the house, walk right into the shop, and be done with it.
Hey, that's how I'm doing. For real.
JBN says y'all hiring Jamie.
Hopefully one day. Hopefully we can get to that point. We've been very blessed with so many good people out there. So if we can just continue taking that step after step, with us and all of our partners, New Sling, Minotaur, Mad Cats. I mean, everybody out there, Dale Sack. I mean, everybody.
Right.
Warrior Energy Drink. I mean, so many great people that's partners with us. Who knows?
Yeah, as I know, Tubbs said he's going to transition to doing more CNC. I mean, seemed like that could be a partnership right there for us. I know there's a lot of tournament guys that want their tournament name or something cool. Everybody, catfishing's gotten sexy. It's not just a bunch of old dirty rods and mismatched crap. I mean, you can still do it for cheap, but you got guys like this gang right here who spends an arm and a leg to look good while you're fishing. I think what you're doing is cool, Tubbs. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hopefully we can somehow get this all linked up.
We will.
Partner up a little bit.
We've actually talked about it, so we definitely going to. Actually, I want to get a couple of things before we go to Tennessee. So we definitely going to take somebody to work with us.
Yeah, most definitely. Keep me in mind. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I've had some big guys. I've had NASCAR. They reached out on powder coating some seats for them.
Nice.
I've had a nice company reach out from Indiana here about a week ago, wanting me to do 300 go-kart frames a year. And hey, just turning down work. I mean, it ain't that I want to or not, but we don't have the time of day to do all this. But I'm setting my goal, explaining how I was reselling, rebuilding, and getting my everything in order for the next 4 months. That's kind of how I'm setting myself up so I can tackle on to something. Whether if it's fishing or what, I mean, it could be. I mean, it can be anything. Just anything related. I choose what I want to do here when I get settled in about 4 months.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, because I will be settled in 4 months. I'll be having my final inspection. It'll be all new. It'll be all new to me. So, yeah. And it's to be able just to get out there as I grow older. I want to be able to spend more time out there, and the wife's ready to go out with me and take these trips. Take these trips with me.
Yeah, that'll be probably some of the coolest, most memorable stuff once you start. Dialing it back, but then you're going to be able to do the other stuff that. I mean, you're not going to dial it back. You're probably actually going to ramp up. It'll just be more stuff that's.
You're probably right. The powder coating side is a thing on itself, a thing for itself. And CNC, that's a thing for itself. And I have, I'm into machine sanding too. So I have CNC machine sanding. So no matter what you cut out, you put on the CNC machine and it sands it. And, and then it goes to the powder coat oven after you clean and blast. But the people who call in and say, hey, I got a lawn chair that needs to be powder coated or a set of rims or, whatever. And then I made powder coat for 3 days straight, This boat I've been working on, you wouldn't believe what I powder coated on this thing. We're talking, if anybody knows anything about powder coat, there's 10 pounds of powder on it. There's a lot of powder. But, yeah. I got a boat fixing to come out that's all powder coated except for the hull.
All right.
I can't wait to see it, brother.
Yeah, except for the hull.
I know that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Before we take off, Patrick says, what's the tickets going to cost for August? So
I actually do not know that right.
Yeah, I don't know either, bud.
I don't know either. It's usually not real expensive, but Patrick, you're on the team, so there's a good chance you can just get the ticket from Jamie if you're going to go actually help out at the booth. That's what I did. I think most of the guys that helped out at the booth you get in as as one of the vendors. So
I'll definitely check on.
I still went around and checked on all my other sponsors and all that stuff and spent time with all them. But I worked the Carolina Lake Weights booth about, I'd say, 90% of the time I was there.
Yeah.
And I told Matt that I would help out at Mad Cats if I came to this one. So some of my other guys like, you don't even worry about it, Chris. Parks Planer Board, don't even worry about it. We got it covered. So like, they're just like, just go enjoy yourself. But I part of the fun was spending time at the booth.
Oh yeah.
Talking to the people who have questions about the products. And
I enjoy seeing you out in Kentucky. I mean, like
yeah,
you say,
yeah.
just getting to meet everybody.
Getting a chance to go meet Tub, and then just going around and getting to shake hands and talk to guys face to face that I've known for the last few years. I've been teammates with a lot of these guys. I've just never actually got to shake hands and then really one of the main things I wanted to go do to that was to go say thank you to the companies that have been supporting us and providing us with the stuff that we use when we're fishing. I thought that was one of the coolest things, to go see the guy that owns the company who's been sponsoring you and say thank you. Appreciate what you've done. I mean, I'm just a weekend angler. Me and my son just a weekend angler. I mean, it's not like we're pro bass fishermen. We just go fish and have fun. And I'm grateful to the guys that like Jamie and Matt Knight and Kevin Parks. And I thought that was one of the coolest things that I could just go show my gratitude for them basically supporting just a weekend angler like me,
Mm-hmm.
Right. We couldn't do it without you, brother. That's for sure.
That's it. That's it.
You're all family, man.
Yeah, I enjoy being part of the family. Both of you guys are family now, so we're bonded for life as brothers. So
yes, sir.
I think that's cool that fishing does that.
Yeah.
It brings guys together. So I'm grateful to have friends like y'all. I would have never met without fishing, without being an angler. So on to bigger and better things too, boys.
That's
yes,
it.
Sir.
Keep growing this thing and trying to get better. So
that's what it's all about.
But I wrote too good. But man, I tell you, it's been another great show, guys. And I hope everybody in our chat has enjoyed it tonight, because I know I've had a lot of fun.
I had a great time too, guys.
We appreciate everybody stopping in, checking us out for a little bit. I know there's a lot of other shows that are on tonight that share our time slot, so we do appreciate you guys spending some time with us. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope we were able to answer some of y'all's questions. That's a big thing for our show, is we want to try to help anglers improve, to get better. We want to try to bring people together. We want to try to build partnerships. So I'm happy with the way it's going. Jamie, I hope you're happy with it. I
look forward to every Wednesday night, man. We're getting all together and just the knowledge that if we can just give back a little bit of knowledge and just try to help. Like I said, I learn every show something new, and I love it. So you can't have enough of it.
Yeah, we're going to keep trying to do that. We're going to keep trying to bring a little different types of guys in. We want to get some guys that run the companies, but we want some tournament anglers that are really just, but we want to get some guides in or trying to do it for a living, and then weekend anglers as well. So
that's it.
I'm hoping we can just keep this thing rolling and keep growing it a little bit. And so we appreciate everybody stopping in to spend time with us.
Yep. Thanks to each and every one of you.
Yeah.
All right. For Tub, for Jamie, El Gato Azul.
I love you, fellas.
God bless. Azul.
Love you, brother.
Yes, sir.